So she was the one who was cleaning up after him.
Right.
She was the one that was listening to him tip tap around the house all night. I was coming in every weekend, but I tried to. That's the other thing. Dementia, generally speaking, if you were to move them to a new environment. So I tried to get him to move in with me, and
Oh.
they feel so lost and disoriented. It's like just like a person who has
Mhm.
Yeah.
dementia, you put them in a new environment, it's like, I can't cope with this. This
Right.
is
Yeah.
way too much. So that inability to cope with a new
Mm.
stressor, that's really that's gone. They can't deal with new stress. And so we tried it for about 2 days before I was like, nope, he can't. Like he's beside himself. He
Mhm.
won't sleep at all. He's not able to cope.
Mm.
So it broke my heart that I couldn't have him with me, but it was just not good for
Mhm.
him.
Right.
But long story short, the family agreed this was the right decision.
Yeah.
I knew it was the right decision, but your heart doesn't always agree with your brain. And so I ended up canceling his appointment the day of. So his steak went uneaten. He was having a good day. He went to go
Yeah.
for a walk. He slept better that night, and I was like, I just can't. But what that led to was 2 more weeks of so-so life. He had a good day, but that doesn't mean that his dementia was gone. It
Right.
just
Mm.
meant it was a good day. And so, unfortunately, 2 weeks later, my mom called me and said, "I needed to wait till the end of the day to tell you, but we said goodbye to Rocco today." And, you know, we had a conversation, my mom and I had. I said, "If ever he goes into some sort of bad place, don't
Mm.
wait for me," because
Yeah.
I was in 2 hours away at school. I'd have to drive in.
Right.
And I said, "Don't wait for me. If you ever think that he's suffering, let
Mm.
him go,
Mhm.
even if it's without me." So she already knew that. And she said he woke up and he was just beside him. He wouldn't stop vocalizing. He vomited. I just knew it had to be today. I said,
Mm.
"You're right. You're right." So
Mm.
I say that to, you know, make it clear nobody is immune from that grief. Nobody's immune from that desire to delay and delay and delay the appointment. But in answer to your question of, is it better to say goodbye a little too, what feels like too soon, right, versus what is too late?
Mhm.
I will suggest try to be brave for them. Remember that too soon means too soon, feels like too soon to us, no matter
Yeah,
what.
it's us thinking of
Yeah.
ourselves really than what's in the best interest of the dog, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more about
Mhm.
meeting your goals for that end of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For both of you, it was, you did not want them to go through undue or prolonged struggle,
Right.
Yeah.
right? That's a goal.
Yeah.
And we have to make a conscious decision sometimes to avoid that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But the funny thing there, Sally,
yeah.
that morning
Hmm.
I was gonna call you and cancel
I know. I
because
know.
I was like, "Oh, she's so much better today."
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Zach saying, "She's no
Yeah.
different today than she was yesterday,
Hmm.
and it's not gonna get any better."
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, "Yeah, you're right." And it was just me. It was like me
Hmm.
looking after me.
And that's natural and that's
Mhm.
okay. I will never blame anybody for
Mhm.
waiting a little too long because I
Yeah.
know how it feels. It
Yeah.
feels like,
Yeah.
your brain wants to believe that they're
Yeah.
better today. So therefore, we've got months or years ahead of us. But that's not the
Yeah.
logic of it. The logic
Yeah.
of it, it's okay for them to have a good day and we still say our farewells
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
yeah, because the
Yeah.
body is tired and the body
Yeah.
is not meant to last forever. It's just not.
Yeah.
None of us are meant to be here forever and ever.
Yeah.
So to answer that, ge- from a I would say veterinarians are going to tell you if they think it's truly too early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think any vet
And
is
it
going to
sounds like
say,
you do.
"Oh yeah, yeah,
You go to people's
I don't
houses.
mind saying like, I think we should try X, Y, and Z first."
Right.
Yeah.
Or for even my patient yesterday, like, "No, I think we try chemo." Like that's a big jump, but I'm optimistic at this point.
Mm.
And if we feel like this is the best route to give this dog the best possible outcome, then it's fair to say let's try if the
Mhm.
owner's willing, right? But if we are at a place where the line in the sand is there or has been crossed, or we understand that For Cassie, her kidneys are not going to magically get better. For Rocco, his brain wasn't going to magically turn
Mhm.
around. It I should have listened to him more when he was clearly telling me, "I'm really
Yeah.
tired, mom. Like, give me my steak. Let me have my walk." And now
Yeah.
my brain has been changed by that experience. And I say now, if we can give them some of their favorites on their last day, whether that's food, whether that's going for that walk or that car
Mm.
ride, or going for one more, even a swim potentially if their bodies will allow,
Mhm.
let's do that and let them be on their way with lots of love. And not,
Yeah.
I will always be sad that I wasn't with my dog when
Mhm.
promised him I would be.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my goal, but I wasn't able to accomplish that because my grief kept making me push this away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a hard reality to face, but it is one that we face with love first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you wait too long, I mean, you're kinda like you were describing, I mean, you're kinda dealing with, like, a different dog in the same shell as your former dog. I mean, pretty
Absolutely.
much with sounds like particularly that disease, but, like, I
Mhm.
mean, even me with my dog, it's like she's still the same dog up here, but
Yeah.
body-wise, it was a different dog, she was a
Yeah.
shell of herself in terms
Well,
Mhm.
of where she
yeah.
was,
And
by the end. Same
and
thing
I
with
think
Mabel too, I mean, she was
Well, yeah.
old and skinny and,
Yeah.
and
sweet
And
old
heart
people
when
had
it
Mabel.
was
said to
droopy and
me,
stuff.
and picking up on what you've just said, I think we as owners
Mhm.
actually know when it's time,
Yeah.
and we, like you said, we just like, no, it's okay, a bit longer, put it off.
Mhm.
And I think we spoke about it, going, you know, when it's time, and I kept saying to people, but what if I miss it? What if I miss it? And then
Mhm.
the day she told me, I was like, there was
Yeah.
no way I could have missed it.